Think about it. Since you started this video, how many times has your phone buzzed? How many times did your attention shift to a text message, or did a notification from Instagram pop up? And be honest, did you stay fully focused on this video the whole time? Or did you half listen, half think, with your mind wandering somewhere else? This right here is our real problem: distraction. Technology has made our world move faster, but it's actually slowed down our minds. Emails, notifications, texts, meetings, social media, they're all shouting at us at the same time. Look at me, answer me, reply to me. But when everything feels urgent, nothing is truly important. That's why Cal Newport says, if you want real productivity, if you want those creative breakthroughs, there's only one way: deep work. That means working on one task all in with zero distractions. In this book, you'll learn why multitasking is actually killing your productivity, the real difference between being in the zone and doing deep work, and why sometimes the best ideas hit you when you're just taking a shower. So if you're ready to turn your distraction-filled brain into a laser-focused tool, the first step is easy. Turn off those notifications, and let's get started. Welcome to the Deep Work Journey, right here with Book Bytes AI.
Chapter 1. Multitasking and distraction are the enemies of productivity. These days, a lot of people think that the more things you do at once, the more productive you become. You've got a spreadsheet open on your laptop, your phone keeps buzzing with texts, and you're streaming a podcast in the background. Feels like you're crushing it, right? Wrong. Multitasking doesn't boost productivity, it actually wrecks your focus. Back in 2009, a professor at the University of Minnesota, Sophie Leroy, ran a pretty interesting study. She wanted to find out what happens when we switch from one task to another. She split participants into two groups. Group A worked on word puzzles, but they were interrupted midway and told, "Now review these job applications and make some hiring decisions." Group B finished the puzzle without any interruptions and only then moved on to reviewing applications. Afterward, both groups took a quick test to see if puzzle-related words were still stuck in their heads. The result? Group A, the interrupted group, was still thinking about the puzzle even while reviewing applications. So even though it looked like they were making decisions, their attention was divided. This is the real harm of multitasking. On the surface, everything looks fine, but deep down, you're not making real progress. And it's not just about switching tasks. Digital distractions work the same way. In 2012, McKinsey did a survey and found out that, on average, an office worker spends over 60% of their time on online communication tools or browsing the internet. Just 30% of their time goes to reading or responding to emails. Deep work? It barely exists. Still, people say, "I worked all day but didn't get anything done." But think about it. What kind of work did you actually do? Most of your time probably went on little tasks or just moving information around, yet we convince ourselves we're being productive. Here's the real issue. We think being busy means we're making progress, but in reality, this illusion of busyness is what's killing our focus. The takeaway is simple. Multitasking is a myth. If you want to do deep, impactful work, focus on one thing at a time with your full energy and attention. Otherwise, you might think you're working, but your mind will still be stuck on that puzzle you left unfinished.
Chapter 2. There are different strategies for achieving deep work, all of which require intention. Now, we know that distraction and multitasking are your mind's biggest enemies, but the real question is, how do you actually build focus? Deep work isn't just a concept, it's a skill, and you have to develop it step by step. J.K. Rowling says there's no one-size-fits-all formula, but there are a few proven approaches, and you can choose the one that works for you. The first is the monastic approach. Imagine being like a monk, total silence, no phone, no interruptions, just you and your work. This is perfect for people with flexible schedules who need to dive deep into creative or intellectual work like coding, writing, or research. The second approach is bimodal. In this strategy, you set aside big chunks of your day or week just for deep work. The rest of the time, you're free, catching up with friends, taking care of errands, or just relaxing. For example, think of a researcher who spends Mondays and Tuesdays doing focused work and the rest of the week teaching or going to meetings. The third is the rhythmic approach. This is a habit-based system, like setting aside 9 to 11 a.m. every day for deep work. You write it in your calendar, track it, and make it part of your routine. It might feel boring at first, but it helps you build consistency, and discipline is the seed of deep focus. The fourth is the journalistic approach. This one's the most flexible. Whenever you find unexpected free time, you use it for deep work. Sort of like a journalist who has to write a story whenever the opportunity strikes, even in between interviews or while riding the subway. But there's one thing all these approaches share. Deep work doesn't happen by accident. It's not about waiting to get in the zone. It's about being deliberate. So what's the real difference between being in the zone and deep work? Getting in the zone is usually an accident. It sometimes happens after hours of procrastination. But deep work is a ritual, a planned, intentional practice. To really do deep work, you need to set up your environment. Ritual 1. Define your space. If you're working from home, put up a Do Not Disturb sign, or find a spot like a local library, or even your favorite coffee shop, where your mind automatically shifts into work mode. Take J.K. Rowling, for example. When she was finishing the last Harry Potter book, she checked into a hotel just to get away from distractions. Ritual 2. Set boundaries. Put your phone on airplane mode. Turn off the Wi-Fi. Give your brain a clear signal it's time to work. Ritual 3. Fuel your focus. To make deep work sustainable, take care of your body, move around a bit, eat on time, and grab a cup of coffee or tea to stay energized without losing focus. The bottom line is simple. Deep work is a commitment. And if you want to accomplish something big, building the habit of working without distraction is your superpower in today's world.
Chapter 3. Focus your brain and be selective about technology. These days, distraction is almost like an addiction. Everywhere you look, people are glued to their phones, playing games, scrolling through Instagram, refreshing Facebook, like there's some kind of reward waiting for them. But it isn't just technology's fault. Our brains are wired that way. Back in early human history, distractions kept us alive. Every new sound or movement could mean danger or opportunity. That's why our brains are still always alert for something new. But the problem is, in 2025, we're still trying to get deep work done with Stone Age brains. Our ability to focus is almost zero. The good news? You can retrain your brain. Here's how. Productive meditation. What does productive meditation mean? Take moments you'd usually waste, like walking your dog, taking a shower, or riding the subway, and use them to think through a single problem. No switching topics, just focus on that one issue. It's like a mental gym. Your mind will want to wander, but you keep bringing it back. How do you start? First, break down your problem. Ask yourself, what's actually stopping me from finishing this task? Or, what steps do I need to reach my goal? This question and answer process helps train your brain to stay disciplined. If you practice this regularly, pretty soon you'll notice distractions have less power over you, and your mind feels stronger. Now, about social media. How do you keep it from stealing your focus? Cal Newport offers a realistic solution. If you're on social media just to keep up with friends, then stick to that. Don't fall into endless scrolling.
And whenever possible, meet up in real life instead of only online. But if you can't control your habits, try a 30-day digital detox. Spend a month off social media completely. At the end of the month, ask yourself 2 questions. Did I actually miss out on anything important by staying off social media? Did anyone notice or care that I wasn't online? If the answer is no to both, maybe you're better off this way. If the answer is yes, come back, but with strict limits on your usage. Bottom line, your mind is like a muscle. Just like working out makes your body stronger, you have to train your focus and productivity too. Fighting distraction isn't easy, but once you learn how, no goal will feel out of reach.
Chapter 4, Scheduling both work and free time is essential to restoring energy. Just think about it. After a long, exhausting day, when you finally get home, what's the first thing you feel? I just want to do nothing for a while. No deadlines, no meetings, just a little bit of real rest. But what does this little bit of rest usually turn into? The TV comes on, you grab your phone, you start scrolling through Instagram, then maybe watch some TikTok or YouTube Shorts, and before you know it, it's already 11 p.m. and you feel even more tired. Have you noticed this before? That relaxing time in the evening may rest your body, but it actually drains your mind even more. Productivity expert Cal Newport says there's a pretty simple solution. Schedule your time on purpose. Every morning, try planning your day in 30-minute blocks. And don't just schedule work, plan your downtime, meals, and even when you'll check email. And hey, if things change during the day, no worries. Just adjust the blocks as you go. The point isn't to stick to every minute, but to be more aware of how you spend your time. Now, let's talk about evenings and weekends. A lot of people say, "Work's done, now I'm free." But sometimes that freedom leads to hours slipping away with nothing to show for it. So, try planning your evenings too. For example, after 7 p.m., make it a rule not to check work emails. Setting this kind of boundary helps your mind truly unplug. Then, use that time for things you actually enjoy: reading, taking a walk, hanging out with family, or just relaxing and listening to music. Step away from the internet for a while and reconnect with the real world. That's truly what recharges you. Bottom line, the time you think you're wasting could actually become your biggest asset if you just plan it on purpose. So, make sure your evenings aren't just about zoning out in front of a screen. Relax in ways that refresh both your mind and your body.
Final summary. These days, distractions are everywhere. Your phone rings, notifications pop up, social media keeps pulling you back in. We think we're being productive with all this multitasking, but the truth is we're just busy without actually getting much done. This is the real challenge. Our ability to focus keeps shrinking. As Cal Newport says, focus is a skill you can reclaim with practice. If you learn to control your distractions, if you build the habit of deep work, you'll be miles ahead of everyone else who's a slave to notifications. Here's a practical tip before you go. Next time you reach the end of the day feeling like you didn't get anything done and you're exhausted but have nothing to show for it, try an internet Sabbath. In the morning, grab a notebook and decide what time blocks will you use the internet. The rest of the time, stay offline completely. This simple exercise will help train your brain to be more disciplined. And when you only use the internet during those set periods, you'll find yourself becoming more focused and intentional. And then you'll start to see for yourself, deep work isn't a luxury.
It's your survival tool in this new world.